name's Audrey. I'm a dietitian and I'm going to be doing a series of videos that highlight high protein, low carbohydrate recipes. So today we're going to start with Asian lettuce wraps, and I hope that by the end of this series that we can talk a little bit about some meal planning tips and easy cooking tips, as well as how to keep things cost friendly. So today we're starting with the Asian lettuce wraps, and these are all the ingredients that we'll need. We'll have your ground chicken, all of your vegetables, so we have green onions, regular sweet onions, red peppers, carrots, water chestnuts, and then some cashews, some different sauces and spices, and your leaves to wrap it with. So to get started, the first thing you're going to want to do is prep your vegetables. Your vegetables, there's a couple different ways to do it. I'm going to do it the lazy way in my food processor. If you do not have a food processor, you'll take your red peppers and your carrots, just chop them a lot smaller than here so that they can fit all together with the chicken in your lettuce wrap. I just roughly chop them. I'm going to throw them in my food processor. That's a third of a cup of carrots and a third of a cup of red peppers. And I'm just going to blend them all together. Just like that. So they're easily blended. You can also blend your water chestnuts in there. I'm gonna just keep mine chopped like this because I like the texture a little bit bigger. It totally depends what you like. And I'm gonna keep my green onions and my diced onions just like that. Okay, so we've got our veggies all prepped. So we're gonna go over to the stove and start with the cooking step. Okay, so in my medium to large size saute pan, I have about 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil that is heated up and ready to go. That's the important thing about any kind of stir fries. You always heat up your oil first and then add your veggies. So I'm gonna add my ½ cup of diced sweet onion and my carrots and red pepper that we just pulsed in our food processor. Give that a little stir. Turn my heat down here a little bit. On about medium, and then we'll add this is a teaspoon of garlic. This is just the diced garlic that you find in the jar. You can also do 2 garlic cloves and it would be the same. But again, I'm a lazy cook. I prefer the jar garlic. And then a tablespoon of sesame oil. And then we just let that cook for a little bit. Let the veggies soften, probably for about 2 minutes. Your onions will kind of start to get a little bit more translucent, and that's when you know when it's time to head on to the next step. Things are looking pretty good here. And next we are going to add our pound of ground chicken. Now you can use whatever ground meat you like. I prefer ground chicken, usually because it's leaner, so you're getting a lot less fat content, which I like. You can use ground turkey, you can use lean ground beef, you can use ground pork. So that's the great thing about this recipe, is you can make it however you like. So we're gonna let that cook for a little while until our chicken is brown. Okay, so we're kind of getting to the point where the ground chicken is moving more from its pink to its white, so we can kind of tell it's done. You'll notice there's a lot more fluids in there. The more we just cook this on high, the more those fluids will kind of just disappear. So after the chicken has been cooked through, that's when we add our flavorings and sauces. So we have our 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. I would use light soy sauce, so it's not as high in salt, or you can use coconut aminos. Our 1/4 cup of Hoisin sauce, which you can find in any regular grocery store in the Asian food aisle. All that good stuff out of there. We have a tablespoon of sriracha hot pepper sauce. If you like things really hot, you can add a little more. If you don't like things hot at all, you can skip it altogether or add just half the amount. We have, this is a teaspoon of fresh ground ginger. You can also use dry ginger as well. The ground ginger just has a little stronger flavor. A little tidbit with ginger actually is you can keep it in your freezer and it lasts forever. So that's really nice. You don't have to worry about buying a new ginger root every time you need it. And then your tablespoon of rice vinegar. And your half teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Again, if you don't like spicy, you can skip those. Okay, so again, it's a little liquidy now. So we're gonna let it cook for a little while until the liquids go down for a little bit. So this will probably be another 5 minutes or so. Okay, so you can kind of see how the liquid has gone down quite a bit. When you stir, you can see parts of the pan. That's when you know when you're ready to move on. So we're gonna turn our heat down a little bit, add our 8-ounce can of water chestnuts you can find in the Asian aisle. Again, this can is like 70 cents, so really cheap. I'm all about cheap ingredients. I just chop them up really small. You can chop them up however you like. And then we have our stock of green onions. Again, a stock of green onions, 88 cents. So we'll put about half of our green onions in here, and then we'll top the rest of our green onions on the top of our wraps. So that'll just be a quick stir. Look how pretty that is. So many colors. I love it. Okay, and that is done. So we'll turn off our heat and we'll move back and fill our lettuce wraps. Okay, so we have our filling mixture all ready to go, and we're ready to fill our leaves of lettuce. Now, just a little tidbit of information for this particular recipe. So this recipe makes about 6 half-cup servings, which is about how much you'd want to put into 1 leaf of lettuce. So 1 half-cup serving is going to get you about 14 grams of protein, about 200 or so calories, depending on what meat you decide to use, and less than 10 grams of carbohydrates. So it's pretty packed with protein and pretty low in carbohydrates as far as a dinner is concerned. So the really great thing about this recipe too is it's made with ground meat, which is very versatile, and you can heat it up really easily and use it throughout the week. So it's one of those recipes that you can make on a Sunday and you could eat for lunches throughout the week. Bring it with you to work or wherever and bring a thing of lettuce with you and you're ready to go. It also freezes really well. So if you are getting sick of it and maybe don't want it anymore that week, you can stick it in a Tupperware, throw it in the freezer, and thaw it out again later and eat it later on. So we're gonna take our half-cup serving of our filling mixture, and we're just gonna place it inside our lettuce leaf. The original recipe, I believe, calls for butter lettuce. I don't really think it matters a whole lot. Just get whatever's cheapest and whatever's gonna hold your filling well. So we put that in our lettuce leaf. We'll add a few of these cashews on top to give it some texture. Now again, you don't need to do cashews if you don't like nuts or if you're on a budget, because nuts are a little bit more on the expensive side. You can skip the cashews. Peanuts are also a lot cheaper than cashews, so you can always choose peanuts instead. And then you'll just take a few green onions, put them on the top. And if you really want it to look pretty, you're trying to impress someone, a few sesame seeds. But really, all you're gonna do is you're gonna roll up your lettuce leaf so it's a roll just like that, and you're gonna bite into it. Yum. And you're gonna enjoy all those delicious flavors. Actually, it's really good. So, if you have any questions or concerns about the recipe, It is going to be posted in the description below this video, so you can look at that recipe. I love the recipe because it is so versatile, and so if you don't have carrots and bell peppers on hand, but you have zucchini or whatever else you have in your fridge that you need to use, you can substitute those veggies instead. It's one of those great meals where you have your veggies and protein all together, and you don't have to worry about having any other sides at the meal. So it's kind of one of those one-pot wonders. So there is your Asian lettuce wraps. Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Whole Simple Protein. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you tried the recipes, please go ahead and comment below. I'd love to hear what you think about them, and we'll see you on the next one.